Todd, welcome to Content Capture Day. Okay. Wow, fussy.
Todd, what was the scariest moment of the Ashes? Was it when the fans were calling you Harry Potter, or when the guy with the trumpet played?
What was
the scariest?
Harry Potter was hostile, but when that bloke gets up in front of 25 people and plays a trumpet, that's scary stuff out there.
In a recent interview, Ben Duckett said, "I hope they don't mind me saying this, but they're a bunch of nice guys who are very good at cricket." First they snubbed you for drinks, and now they're saying this. Like, it's getting pretty nasty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite condescending, isn't it? But if that's how they perceive us, then I guess that is what it is. But they weren't too keen on having a beer with us nice guys.
Yeah, I want to touch on those beers. Like, can we break that down to what happened? Because obviously you guys all met up at the nightclub. Obviously families from both sides were there, kids were there.
Well, Stokesy sorted it out.
He sorted it out.
Everyone met later.
He did a tweet later. So that was sort of all solved, right?
Exactly right. Yeah, I think the plan the whole time was to meet at a nightclub, and as you said, family and friends invited, and
Usman and that, like Moeen and that.
Yeah, those guys heavily involved there, and kids running around and everything. So it's a quality night.
It's past their bedtime, isn't it? For a lot of those kids.
Yeah, exactly right. It was tough for them to have to stay up that time, but they managed to make it.
Well, all's well that ends well, then,
exactly right?
Yeah, no worries.
Is it true that you hid all the Tiger Balm from the physios when Nathan Lyon went down with his calf injury?
That is true. I was doing everything I can to make sure he was on the plane home.
Seriously, like full respect for you boys. Like going into battle on the field for Australia, especially the guys who were playing on the field at Lords. I know you would come later after what you did to Nathan, but when the Blue Bloods turned feral, like you were like our own Australian cricketing warriors, and maybe there's a good opportunity now for you guys to extend the same respect to Australian online warriors who were knee-deep in their own battles defending the country from witty English posts. Like, it was pretty nasty out there. You guys thought you had it bad with ball changes. Like, we were dealing with algorithm changes like every day. So could you just sort of look down the barrel of the camera with a message to the online Australian warriors out there and the sort of defence they were putting up for you guys? Just what do you got to say to them?
You online warriors, we respect you and appreciate everything you've done for us.
Right, Todd, from St Kilda, obviously that's where most people know you from. Who was the most successful player who ever played for your club? And how much memorabilia is there of that person?
Yeah, it has to be Shane Morn. Hard to look past him. And there's a fair bit of the St Kilda Cricket Club rooms dedicated to him, but I think rightly so, he's probably earned that right.
Yeah.
Who's probably been the most successful who's played at St Kilda in terms of like media and like podcasts and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, tough question. There's a couple of young guys at the moment that are starting up their own podcasts, so they're probably, I suppose, the first guys that have really gone into that line.
Yeah, the very first ones. Yeah. You ever play there?
I
You went down to training once?
Yeah.
Throw some balls to Rob Quiney.
Yeah. Just pointing at myself, he just ignored me.
Todd, you've got Coley out 3 times already. 4 times.
That's a test.
I mean,
that was quick.
We're waiting for this.
How quickly do you think you'll pass Nathan Lyon's test wickets if Virat keeps playing?
If there's scheduled games against India every summer, then we might get there a bit quicker. You're not putting that in.
Why do players seem like really worried about saying things about Indian players?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that comes down to, but there's probably a bit at stake there.
Stake, that's interesting. So you got views on private equity. Just on grade cricket, like, what's your preferred name for the level below state cricket, like district cricket, premier cricket, or grade cricket?
I reckon when I first came in, it was premier cricket, and that's sort of what everyone tried to push. But I think the more you go along, it's more grade cricket. And I think that is the proper name.
And you'd agree it's a vitally important breeding ground for the health of Australian cricket, like a fantastic vehicle and community base for young men and women to thrive as people in team environments?
Exactly right, and that's where you get your best learnings, part of a grade club, and you have to learn pretty fast or you get left behind.
Yep. Sure. Name one guy in 4th grade.
Yeah, tough question. A few new guys at the club this year haven't got down.
Todd, can you run us through the pecking order of binoculars and who gets to use them in the dressing room?
yeah, I was found out about that pretty quickly in the UK. But
Can you describe what happened there?
yeah, Alex Carey, Binoculars out.
Yeah.
Quite underwhelming what we were looking at, but yeah, I went to ask if I could have a go as well, and pretty quickly shut down and said, "Wait your turn, mate." So yeah, from there on, I haven't asked for the binoculars since.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
Brutal environment.
What were you looking at that was underwhelming? That won't make it to camera.
It was actually Jonny Bairstow's shoes.
So how does that work? Like it's just like, wait, have a go at his wheels.
what about the
Is
wheels?
it-
Yeah, well, we both noticed that he wore Nikes the whole tour, and then the last day he had Adidas's on. So we were trying to just work out what they were. Yeah,
Man. These journos don't pick up on this stuff. No.
that's how well we were going up there.
That's cricket. Have a look at this bloke's wheels.
So I ask about like pre-play warm-ups. Every team has their own approach to pre-play, like game warm-ups. Like, are you happy with where Australia's pre-play warm-ups are at? And what's your personal relationship to the way you warm up?
Very individualised with our group, which some guys like, some guys don't like. Coming from Victoria, we have a large emphasis on the pre-game warm-up, which is soccer volleyball. So I'd love to see some of that included with the test team, but yeah, I think a few of the older boys are happy just to go about their business and roll down when they want to.
So fair to say you're unhappy with where it's at?
Yeah, fair to say the S&C's got a bit of work to do.
Who's the best you've ever played with in terms of pre-play warm-up? Like, who's just...
Will Bukowski's got unbelievable skill when it comes to the soccer ball, and Josh Inglis is quite good as well, being a Pommy.
He's a pom, yeah, that's right.
Let's say, hypothetically, you're playing 4th grade, Todd. You have the option of organising tea, being on site screens, even umpiring perhaps, scoring or organising drinks. What's your role that you'd play?
If I don't like the boys, I'm going to the side screen.
Yeah.
But if I'm keen to sit there and chat a bit, then I think I'll organise the RVT.
Okay.
Just with dressing room politics, I've always wanted to know, like, is there a silent etiquette or protocol around who gets to sit in the camera shot?
Yeah, I think those boys work it out pretty fast and make sure they get there and then try and play it off as that's their lucky seat, but yeah, everyone knows what they're about.
We saw Brendan McCullum a lot. He's very relaxed.
He was
isn't
very relaxed, wasn't
It's
he?
almost like he's sort of trying to let us know how relaxed he is all
Interesting
the
that,
time.
isn't it? Yeah, make sure he's in camera shot the whole time.
Can you like can you hear the commentators in the dressing room? Because like, you know, like I know you have some of the greatest cricketing minds employed to analyse the game, but you know, what if, like, do you ever think, like, what if Channel 7's Matthew Hayden or Justin Langer has something really profound to say and we've missed it?
I think there definitely is the option to have the volume up, but yeah, for some reason it stays on mute a lot of the time.
What's the hierarchy of DRS use?
I think it goes Paddy and then Alex Carey, and that's sort of the two that get involved, but then that's how it's meant to run.
Yeah.
And then when you get Marnus convinced of something, that he comes in pretty strongly as well, and yeah, it's hard to ignore.
And what's his strike rate, Marnus, with the DRS on the field?
I'd love to see some numbers, but I can't imagine it being very successful.
We're just talking about like music in the sheds. Like we were outside the sheds after the Edgbaston win, so we could sort of see the guys celebrating, sort of wave, but didn't.
We were there. We were there for ages.
yeah.
And they kept saying like 10 minutes.
They kept saying 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Anyway, it didn't come up, but I did notice. I did notice the tunes like had a, and this is while sun was still up, had like a dignified but firm doof to it. So where is Australian like cricket team music at, and what's the place of True Blue in it as well?
Yeah, I think it's in a tough place. Our new S&C's come across. He's got a heavy interest in UK grime. So he, we were subject to that a fair bit, and I think the boys get fed up with it a little bit. But yeah, there are some interesting stuff that comes about.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Grime.
I like that.
Dave, Smallsy, that sort of stuff. I want to know what your perfect spread for afternoon tea is. Go through the category of sweet and savoury.
Yep.
You've got the option of choosing everything on the palate.
Yep.
What are you going for?
I think firstly you've got to start off with some party pies and sausage rolls.
Great call.
And then you've got to have some sandwiches, more for the aesthetic look of the table, I think. And then from there, I'm a fan of watermelon and some pineapple cut up.
I'm enjoying this. This is good.
Yeah, and then we go to the sweet stuff from there. I'm happy to have a chocolate mud cake or a vanilla mud cake with some donuts, and then looking back to my country days, there's always a couple of boxes of shapes that just make their way there from someone that's been a bit caught out in the morning.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's my spread.
And that's my spread.
That's my spread.
I get people say that at the end of every
I put a sponsor on
That's
that.
right,
Perfect.
and that's my spread. And are you someone who tends to notice what everyone else is eating or get noticed by people? Like, would you walk up to someone and go like, "Oh, do you need that cake?"
Yeah, you're heavily judging everyone at the tea table, and it's always nice to see what guys are going for.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that nice?
It's just good things to be able to pick apart from someone and make them feel even worse about their day.
Have you got the binoculars there? Just have a look.
No, still not allowed to use them.
All right, so we're just going to do some word association. So we'll just say something, and then you just say the first thing that comes into your head. It doesn't have to be one word, but just a short word or a couple of words, okay? Anthropogenic climate change.
Pat Cummins.
He's going to hear all of these. Spirit of cricket.
England.
Overrates.
Ashes.
Man-cads.
Ashwin.
Private equity.
Not smart enough for that.
Politics.
Albanese.
Imran Khan.
Trouble.
Go woke.
Oh, a lot of them.
Beers after play.
Aussies.
Send-offs.
Alex Carey.
Who's sitting right there, by the way. Ball change.
Joel Wilson.
Should McGill's shirtless selfie.
Outstanding.
Matildas.
Groundbreaking.
Carlos, don't you walk away from me.
Noosa.
Dave Warner's book.
Interesting.
As we want books to be.
Yes.
Yeah,
As we want books to be.
Bestseller, is my guess.
Just finally, we've got time. I just want to play, like, we're really lucky to, through technology, digital technology, to have access to all range of views out there in society, but also some of the greats of the game can also put together instructions for young kids or even players around how to deal with difficult situations. Now, I just want to let you know, I think, were you involved at Delhi? Did you play the Delhi test?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously, Ashra and Jadeja had a good day there, and
I know this is a
Ian Hilly was kind enough to put together a masterclass for his media.
One of the greats of the game.
Yeah, one of the greats of the game.
Yeah.
In front of a silver bin with a tennis ball, and I don't know if you guys caught this.
Well, welcome back to the SENCG,
So if you just watch
where
this,
we're going to look at the
this is
perils
how to play
of
sweep.
sweeping. On wickets where the ball isn't bouncing very high, quite often you can play a sweep and it hits you on the knee. That's going to go over the top of the stump.
This is how to play Ashra
But
and
in
Jadeja.
Delhi and Nagpur, it wasn't. It was going to hit the stump, so you had to be very careful.
Yeah.
Matthew Hayden has said it the best as I've heard, that you need to vary your footwork.
Yeah,
if they're
vary your
bowling
footwork.
straight at you, don't be playing the sweep shot.
Don't play
Just come down the bowl, come down the wicket,
Come down.
and hit the ball along the ground.
Yeah.
Defend it.
It's obviously easy when
Hit
they're
it
bowling
over
95
mid
k's
on mid wicket or over the
top. You've got
bowler's
options
head.
there. You don't have to
that
play
might
sweep.
force them to bowl a little wide.
And then they bowl wide because you've done that.
When it's wider of
Makes it
off,
look easy, doesn't it?
you can get your leg outside
Get
the
outside
line
so
of
you're
off
not-
stump. So that you can't be LBW if you miss the ball.
Yeah,
Right?
so take away dismissal.
And that shot becomes available. So too that.
Yeah, you've got
They've
two
a
options
fielder
now
there.
because you've forced them
Only
off the
got
length.
one fielder there.
Looks flat in the
That
SEN
shot
studio,
can
doesn't it?
come into play. You force them to bowl a little wider. Too
Yeah.
often in Delhi,
Yeah.
we let balls that were drifting onto leg stump
Yeah.
and going down leg side to be defended.
Yeah. So what do you do
Rather than
instead?
sweep. That's
Get
how
away.
you can
You gotta go
sweep.
with it.
You've
Yeah.
finally got the line you want,
Yeah.
and you haven't played the shot. Now that's playing the
That's
shot.
playing it.
By changing their lines and
This
putting
Ashwin.
some pressure back on the bowler. Right, now you've got to play it really well.
Yeah.
Where the fielder isn't. If they've got two
They've got
fielders,
two.
that shot's out. You can play that one.
This guy, this,
Get your leg out of the way.
this guy over.
If they've only got
It's
one
better and
fielder
better.
there and you get the ball outside off,
go
that's
that
when you
way.
play that one.
You think you play that one?
So you've just got to make a few wiser
Wiser
decisions
decisions,
as to
so.
the ball we're attempting this week.
So that's
It's good information, isn't it?
Thoughts?
Yeah, I would have liked that after the Delhi test.
yeah, I don't know if that made it through to the team.
No, it would have been good. I'm sure the analysis we had on tour would have been all over that.
And do you know what your like you know like life's pretty difficult at the moment. Like, there's a lot of threats to the world. You know, like with AI, we've had pandemics. You know, climate change. Do you know what you're playing for this summer? Because
It's a big series.
it's a very big series.
Against Pakistan.
Yeah, and Channel 7 Zone, one of the greats of the game again. I think he summed it up best when he was coaching Pakistan. If you just press play on that, Todd.
I reckon one of the great elements of cricket is that it's got such a huge role to play in terms of stability of mankind.
It's life or death stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big summer coming up.
It is,
summer,
yeah.
lots to
Pressure on the
play for.
boys and
Yeah.
must win.
Must win.
Todd Murphy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, boys.